Healthy eating and climate change. So what happens to your body when you start eating healthy? Here are some things you'll notice right away, and hopefully you'll continue to eat healthy in the future. I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching a lecture on climate change. You might say, what do climate change and healthy eating have in common? The whole point of that lecture was that climate change doesn't necessarily affect you at the exact moment and place where you are. The impact of climate change on you may be distant. It may be related to someone who lives far away, maybe 20 years from now, maybe even on your grandchildren. And it's very hard to bring yourself to change something that doesn't affect you immediately. We all have this problem. If you put your hand on the cooker and it burns, you take your hand away immediately and never touch it again. But if you eat sugary foods and 30 years later you have a risk of heart attack, it's a much more complex association that it's hard to make and change your behavior based on that data. So today I'm going to give you a few things that you can look out for that will probably happen quickly so that you can be motivated to make healthy changes and continue to lead a healthier lifestyle. I am a board-certified nephrologist and also a culinary doctor. Everything we talk about today is for information only. Subscribe to my channel, give me likes, click the bell so you never miss a new recipe or a new health tip every week. I want to give you one piece of information, make you more knowledgeable so you can live a healthier lifestyle and improve your health in many ways. Getting used to eating healthier. The first thing you will notice when you start eating healthier is that you will want to eat healthier in the future as well. Believe it or not, the more you eat it, the more you'll want it later on, and your body will get used to it. You just need to break that barrier, and then your body will continue to ask you to be healthy. How eating healthy affects your well-being. The next thing, and this is my favorite, is that you will start to feel better. Pay attention to how you feel after a heavy meal or fast food. You probably don't feel that good. But if you eat a light meal that still tastes good but doesn't contain as many calories, fat, or salt, your body will feel better, especially if you prepared that meal at home. Pay attention to your body. It will tell you how you feel after you eat. And if you pay attention, you will notice that healthy food makes you feel better. You know what else you'll feel? You'll feel more confident. What does confidence have to do with what you eat? Let me explain. When you make a decision and make a change to improve your health, you will be proud of yourself, and rightly so because it's not easy. But making the decision to go for a walk or exercise or cook a healthy meal will make you feel better. Your body will feel better, and you will be more confident and want to keep making decisions to maintain that confidence to feel better and stronger. You won't regret it. It will happen pretty quickly. Just think about the last time you cooked a delicious and healthy meal or the last time you went to the gym. Think about the long-term effects of that decision on your mental state. This is very important, and you will notice the difference immediately. Gut health and microbiome. Finally, your gut health will improve. Okay, this may not be something you'll notice right away, but we as doctors are increasingly noting how important the gut microbiome is and how it can play a role in immunity, brain health, anxiety, and depression. In addition to possibly helping all of these areas of your body, you are also likely to have less abdominal bloating and become more regular in terms of digestion. These are important things that can affect you on a daily basis, and I want you to pay attention to them. Your brain and food. Provided we get glucose on a regular basis, so how does the particular type of carbohydrate we eat affect our brains? Carbohydrates come in three forms: starch, sugar, and fiber. Although most food labels combine them into one general carbohydrate figure, the ratio of sugar and fiber in the total amount affects how the body and brain respond. Foods with a high glycemic index, such as white bread, cause a rapid release of glucose into the bloodstream, followed by a slump. Blood sugar levels plummet, and with it our concentration and mood. On the other hand, oats, cereals, and legumes have a slow release of glucose, providing a more stable level of mindfulness. Choosing a varied diet rich in nutrients is essential for sustainable brain function. What you bite, chew, and swallow has a direct and lasting impact on the most powerful organ in your body. Trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi live on or inside us, and maintaining a good, balanced relationship with them is to our benefit. Together, they form the gut microbiome, a rich ecosystem that fulfills many functions in our bodies. The bacteria in our gut can break down food that the body can't digest, produce important nutrients, regulate the immune system, and protect us from harmful microbes. We don't yet have an exact blueprint for exactly which beneficial bacteria are necessary for a strong gut, but we do know that a diversity of bacterial species is important for a healthy microbiome. Our microbiomes are influenced by many factors, including our environment, medications such as antibiotics, and even how we were born, by cesarean section or naturally. Diet is also becoming one of the leading factors affecting our gut health. And while we can't control all of these factors, we can manipulate the balance of our microbes by paying attention to what we eat. Dietary fiber from foods such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes, and whole grains are the best fuel for gut bacteria. When bacteria digest fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids, which nourish the gut barrier, improve immune system function, and can help prevent inflammation, which reduces cancer risk. And the more fiber you consume, the more fiber-digesting bacteria colonize your gut. In a recent study, scientists swapped the usual high-fiber diets of a group of rural South Africans for high-fat, high-meat diets in a group of African Americans. After just 2 weeks on the high-fat, low-fiber Western-style diet, the South African group had an increase in colorectal inflammation, as well as a decrease in levels of butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid thought to reduce the risk of colorectal cancer. Meanwhile, the group who switched to a high-fiber, low-fat diet had the opposite result. So what happens to our gut bacteria when we eat processed foods low in fiber? Less fiber means less fuel for the gut bacteria, which essentially starves and kills them. This leads to less diversity and starving bacteria. In fact, some of them may start to feed on mucous membranes. We also know that certain foods can affect gut bacteria. In a recent study of the microbiome, scientists found that fruits, vegetables, tea, coffee, red wine, and dark chocolate were associated with increased bacterial diversity. These foods contain polyphenols, which are natural antioxidant compounds. On the other hand, foods high in milk fat, such as whole milk and sweetened sodas, are associated with decreased diversity. How the food is prepared is also important. Minimally processed, fresh foods tend to contain more fiber and provide better fuel, so lightly steamed, roasted, or raw vegetables are usually healthier than fried foods. There are also cooking methods that can actually introduce beneficial bacteria, known as probiotics, into your gut. Fermented foods are full of beneficial probiotic bacteria such as lactobacilli and bifidobacteria. Originally used as a way to preserve food before the invention of refrigerators, fermentation remains a traditional practice around the world. Foods such as kimchi, sauerkraut, tempeh, and kombucha add variety and vitality to our diet. Yogurt is another fermented food that can introduce beneficial bacteria into our gut. However, this doesn't mean that all yogurt is good for us. Brands with a lot of sugar and not enough bacteria may not actually be beneficial. These are just general guidelines. More research is needed to fully understand exactly how these foods interact with our microbiomes. We see positive correlations, but the insides of our gut are a tricky place to make direct observations. For example, we don't yet know if these foods are directly responsible for changes in diversity, or if something more complex is going on. Although we are just beginning to explore the vast wildlife inside our guts, we already have an idea of how important our microbiomes are to digestive health. The good news is that we have the power to activate the bacteria in our bellies. Fill your diet with fiber, fresh and fermented foods, and you can trust your gut to keep you well. Conclusion: So, have I convinced you to eat healthy? I hope so. I hope I've at least given you some ideas on what to look out for in your body when making decisions to improve your health. Making daily decisions to cook your meals at home, use less salt, fat, and sugar. There are many things you can do every day, and you will notice the impact immediately. It's much harder to make changes based on things in the future or things that are far away from you. So focus on the immediate changes, the things you notice within hours, minutes, and days of eating something healthy. I think you'll see a real difference. Thank you so much for watching today. See you next time.